was I going to say?
I don't know.
Gym therapy. All right, guys, you're here. It is Sunday, October 29th, and you're here with Gym Therapy Inc. To my left, I have
Alesia.
We got
Trista.
And Jesse.
We got Jesse this week. I'm Justin. I'll be your host. We're going to talk about seasonal affective disorder. Before we do that, do you guys want to get into what's been going on lately? It's been a few weeks since we've been here.
A few weeks? Jeez.
Well, for you guys, it's been, we recorded with PJ Shell a couple weeks ago about Maverick's Mission. If you guys haven't seen that one, that's been our most popular episode so far, so go back and take a look at that. Pretty touching story with PJ and his boy. But I'm excited. I'm glad to be back. What do you been going on lately?
A lot. I mean, I guess not a lot. Same thing. I bought a new car.
All right, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Car payment went up a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't go down typically when you buy a new one.
And then we've hired so many people at work, so all the overtime hours I used to get are now not mine at all. So buying a new car, the payment goes up, and now my overtime goes down.
And where do you work? What do you do?
I work at Cove Prep and Cove Secure with juvenile sex offenders and criminal juveniles.
Okay, for some people that have never watched before, so.
Yeah, there's we signed a contract with a staffing agency called Maxim. I don't know where it's out of, but anyways, we've got people that drive. This one girl drives an hour and 45 minutes.
Must be a decent job, though.
Yeah.
It's not it's the amount of money they're making to drive that far.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If only other employers knew that.
Yeah.
And then
just
think like 2 years ago when you were worried you weren't going to be able to find a job, like how much growth that is in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
awesome.
we might revisit your story sometime soon too, just for a lot of people that haven't watched or been following along. We picked up some new people in the last couple months, so
yeah,
and got updates. Like you have good updates too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Jesse? What's been going
on? Still working 7 days a week. Getting adapted into this new position of maintenance at the brewery. So that's always fun to learn. I just like to learn and work on stuff. I know how all the machines operate now. It's the process of learning how to fix them. So that's like I said,
learning how to weld too.
Oh, you're learning how to weld.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's good. That's a Mingle family tradition. One that
Welcome to the family.
Congratulations.
That's the unfortunate thing about it is to learn how to weld, you either A, need to go to school, or B, like
immerse
have
yourself.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because just to turn a welder on isn't cheap. Like a lot of them, like the big ones that we use at work, they're the 480, and the plug is as big around as this coffee mug.
Right.
So and then all the materials for that it's expensive, and just I don't know. Like I said, it's something that I've wanted to learn for a long time, and I'm happy I have the ability to do that where I'm at now. So
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a good skill to have too.
No, it is. More versatile, and just with always been working on cars and stuff, that adds a new aspect to what I'm able to do on a car. Not yet, but once I not perfect, but get better at the process, then like I said, that'll be something I'll be able to expand on. So
Yeah, all the men in my family are welders of some sort. Either have done it professionally or currently do it professionally. In high school, I built a weight bench in shop class.
Oh,
and
boy.
They said, "Do you play sports?" And I said, "Yeah." They're like, "Why don't you stick to that?"
I made a hammer. I was pretty proud of that hammer.
Did you make a hammer?
I made a hammer. I sure did.
Yeah,
My dad
hammer
still has it.
Yeah, I don't think they even have shop class anymore.
Well, that
I don't
sucks.
think so.
Probably
Woodshop
not.
was one of my
Yeah.
favorite classes. I wanted to add this too. We haven't been here in a couple months. We both celebrated 2 years clean.
Awesome.
We have been together for 2 years. Jesse has had 3 promotions in 2 years. And I've had 2 really good jobs in 2 years.
That's good. And you guys
great.
are on a path now. What?
In our own apartment for however long. So since
Yeah.
April,
Did you
I
think 2.5 years ago this was even on the radar?
Nope.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you were afraid to move out of Justin's basement there for a while?
Yeah.
And now
I
look
didn't
at
let
you.
go.
I know.
I'd like to
Wow.
answer that question though. If I thought I could be here in 2 years, maybe not with like Alesia per se, I would have never, 2 years ago when we met, I would have never guessed that, we'd be together with our life, but I knew that, once we got that obstacle, I knew her as well. Like, once we got that obstacle of addiction out of the way and out of the front of our mind, it's a hard turnaround, but you can do it, and you put your mind to it. Believe me, the amount of energy and effort that we put into addiction, if you sink a quarter of that into life, you're gonna go far.
Oh, you're working 80 hours a week just to be an addict.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest jobs there is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I've got to go punch a clock before I start working. Like, the moment my eyes open from the time that they shut, I was working towards, fulfilling whatever.
Same.
So
That's such a healthy mindset shift to recognize that. You know what I mean? Like, if I took half the effort that I put into being an addict to making my life better, what you can accomplish. Absolutely.
If you're that passionate about it, just, like I said, invest, like I said, half the effort. It's really not that steep of a
The obstacle's not as big, like, the old adage, like, how do you eat it well? One bite at a time.
Yeah.
The obstacle is not that big whenever you do take it and break it down into pieces and do it little bits at a time. If you look at it from, like, holy shit, how am I going to do this? You do it by just starting.
Yeah, it's overwhelming to think to take the whole task on at once.
Yeah.
But it's
it's
a process.
Once you get the one step at a time, like, all right, well, if I just do this much, I'll land here, and once I get here, then I'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
And once I get there, I just keep moving forward. I mean, obviously there's an end goal, but I'm not going to go from this is my plan to, oh, here it is, it's finished, I got it.
Right.
And,
but like they say, how long do you have to be sober? Just for today.
Yeah.
Just for today.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Just to do this minute, this hour, whatever.
And just
And
wait.
keeping your environment clean. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not being around people that are going to bring you down, I think is one of the biggest things to success. Like, in my own family member, just every time they get into a situation where they're around people that do these things, it ends up bringing them down. And it's heartbreaking to see.
I've also been put into the next class of people to be med trained.
What's that mean?
That means I'll be able to learn how to pass medications to the kids. And my brother doesn't like this idea because he thinks that it's temptation.
You're flying too close to the sun.
Yeah, which I 100% understand that. But I actually had to fight to get into this class just for a couple of different reasons that I'm not going to say. But it's taken me pretty much my whole life to stand up for myself and say what I really want to say without caring or giving a shit whatever that other person thinks about when I'm saying it. So I had to get both my bosses in the same room at the same time. Stop spinning me, both of you, and tell me what's really going on. And I was able, it took me a while, but I was able to actually stand up to them and say, why did I not get in the first class?
See, I think that you said it's taken you a long time to do it. I think you're like a bulldog. That's something you're good at. It's
I don't think so at all.
Like being able to. That's the perception we have of ourselves. But I think you're good at being able to be like, hey, what's going on? Talk to me right now. That's a quality I think you already had. I don't know if you realized that or not.
No.
It did take her some convincing. I will.
Okay.
I was trying to push her to that as well. Like, to get her to say, like, you need to show you're this emotionally involved that you get upset when you bring it up, when you talk to me. Let these people know that are doing this to you, that you are that emotionally involved, that it upsets you when you go home at night. It upsets you when you think about it. Like, that they're not going to realize how passionate you really are about it until you let them know, you know?
And all the people, well, there's 4 or 5, I don't remember, but all the people that have just got med trained a couple weeks ago have been there between 4 and 5 months. I'm going on 9.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating.
All right, let's move on, Trista. What's been going on with you, huh? A couple good weeks, huh? What's been going on?
It's been a kind of a roller coaster of stuff. Got nominated for the Young Athena Award. And I won that on Wednesday.
Just happened to win that.
What is that?
You should have brought your fancy trophy.
It was a really cool experience. Like, I wasn't sure my chances of winning. Like, I got nominated by a gym member, and what that means is someone who being Athena, that you are constantly in the state of growth. You are collaborating with other women. You are helping empower other women, and you do community service work. You're a leader, I guess. And when the CEO of the company went up and she started talking, and she's standing on the stage and she's saying, Athenas, they do self-work, they do growth work, they do shadow work. And like Erica and I just stopped and we looked at each other. My mom looks at me and my mom goes, that's you. Like, this is you. And at that time, like when she was up there having that conversation, I was like, okay, I think I won this. Like, I think I won this. This describes me, what I do. And it's a big honor and a big responsibility to take on.
How many people were nominated?
5, I think.
A lot of great nominees too.
Oh, yeah. 2 of them I know for more than a decade. Amazing people, all of them. So it was a big honor.
It's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And the next one is I got nominated for Small Business Person of the Year from the IUP Business College.
Nice.
I've been working with them on growing my business and working with like the college students there. And they're giving you ideas and growth. And in this past year, my gym has doubled in membership. So I've been putting in a lot of work, and everyone, and everyone's like,
it's paying off though. Like you can see it every day on social media. You can see all of. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's definitely a compounding effect, and it's growing.
And you're definitely probably the number one motivator in my life.
Thank you. And I think the coolest thing about that is hearing the stories from like other people when they say like, you wanting to do community service makes me want to do this, and this. And we had, Erica and Amanda came to me about hosting a kickball tournament. And they're like, we want to do this every year. And I was like, let's do it. Let's do this yearly, So just seeing your ripple in the pond, it makes a wave for other people and makes people want to get involved too. So, if you have community service efforts where you're at, get involved.
Yeah.
People want to do it. Sometimes they just don't know how to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. We try to do good things, and we try to like post stuff about it on the internet, and it's not for like clout or recognition or anything like that. It's just so people can see there's other people in the community doing good things, and if you want to reach out and do good things, get a hold of us, and we can point you in the direction of where
to go, how to do it,
who needs help, whether it's Salvation Army, ICAP, Justice Works, things like that. That's the biggest reason we do it, is to encourage other people to do it. It's not for like a pat on the back.
And it's so uncomfortable to talk about yourself. Like
it is.
It was really uncomfortable to write all of the things down and talk about what I do, because it's not why I do it. But we also are taught to stay small, right? We're taught to stay small,
for sure,
and not to celebrate our accomplishments because it's bragging. But it's how you deliver the message, right? If you're saying like, "Hey, I accomplished this. I worked really hard." It's not like, "Look what I did." You don't have that. Like, there's a difference in how you deliver the message, and when you deliver it the correct way, it inspires other people to get involved too.
Yeah,
and I think that's
it also inspires other people to put their personal things that they did well.
Show a little vulnerability to encourage others. And when I have this conversation with people like one-on-one or in a group, they always are encouraging. They always say the same thing, like if you can help one person, then it's already good. That's the biggest thing with our success, is even if like we stop doing this today, we've still encouraged enough people in the past that this whole trip has been a success. And that's kind of the motivator for me, is to keep moving and doing this stuff. Is we are helping people. There are people that reach out and say thanks.
Yeah. And not just in the gym.
Everything's contagious, like you said about, before, negativity is contagious, like who you surround yourself with. And on the opposite side, positive things are contagious too. You do good things around other good people, they're going to want to join in
absolutely with you.
We see that in the gym. Like the ripple effect in the gym is awesome to watch.
Yes.
Where like someone comes in and they have like a negative, and we're like, no, come on, like him, if he comes in grumpy, we're like, come on, Justin.
Never.
And if he doesn't show up, he gets texts from like 3 other people.
So my last couple weeks, I've been out of town. I went on a siblings vacation, which was pretty interesting. There's 5 of us kids, and we each have a spouse, so there was 10 of us on vacation. We stayed in this little Holiday Inn resort in Orlando, and it was good. It was weird because the last time I was in a room with 5 of my siblings, like we all stayed somewhere, I was probably
a kid.
Yeah, I mean, my sisters moved out when I was like 13, so I was probably 11 or 12 the last time this happened.
Okay.
And I fell asleep on the couch one day, took a nap, and my oldest sister's like, go to bed. So they were making fun of me. Because she was like, Vicky was like my first mom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or my second mom, you know, and they're like, you had to have your big sister put you to bed. And I was like, son of bitches. But it was it was a good, yeah, it was a really good trip. We got a new microphone, so if anyone's listening to this and wonders why the audio sounds either good or bad, we can't tell yet. We got a new microphone, so thank you to the Indiana Rotary. The grant they gave us helped pay for this microphone, so that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to figure out some settings and stuff, and I mess with it, but I can't tell right now. The only thing I can tell is I can hear papers and I can hear each of us breathing. So if you're into ASMR, just turn this down a little bit.
Are you serious?
I don't know. Turn this down a little bit and maybe take a nap while you're listening to us, and maybe learn something through osmosis. You know,
Is that how that works?
that's actually how that works. Yes.
So what are we going to talk about today?
Oh yeah, seasonal affective disorder. So, there's good things about this time of year. You know, the leaves changing, everything.
pretty.
It is very, very pretty. But what's the number one negative about this time of year?
Less sunlight.
Yeah.
Less sunlight. It gets dark at, I don't know.
6:37.
Yeah, and we're gonna put this out this week. I think time changes the first week in November. Is that right?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
This,
all right.
this coming weekend.
This coming week. I actually picked this because I thought it was last night, but whatever.
You're just
Good
get an
job.
extra hour of sleep.
Yeah,
That's right.
right. And
Just
now,
get an extra hour of sleep. That's what I'm excited for.
yeah, the 1 hour for 6 months of darkness.
Yes.
That's really selling your soul there.
I live in a basement. It's dark. It doesn't matter. I live underground. I only have 3 windows.
Yeah. So
Literally.
seasonal affective disorder, also known as seasonal depression, is a type of depression that's related to changes in the season. Seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, begins and ends about the same time every year. If you're like most people with SAD, your symptoms start in the fall and continue into the winter months, zapping your energy and making you feel moody. These symptoms often resolve in the spring and summer months. Left often SAD causes depression in early spring, but there is seasonal depression that does happen in the spring. But right now we're focusing on the fall because it is fall.
Fun fact about that timetable: it lasts about 40% of your year.
Oh my God.
Ew.
Yeah.
It lasts about 40% of the year.
I read this week too that the closer you live to the equator, the less chance of seasonal depression you have. And look at us, we're like, we're on the bad end.
It's not great. It's not great in Pennsylvania
We're way
for
too
seasonal
far away to
depression.
not be normal.
So we're gonna look at causes. We're gonna look at symptoms, and then the second half we're gonna do diagnoses and treatment. Now, remember, we're not doctors. I'm reading this from the Mayo Clinic's website, and then we're gonna give you some personal examples and things like that. So symptoms. In most cases, seasonal affective disorder symptoms appear during late fall, which that's where we are now, and go away on sunnier days of spring and summer. Less commonly, people with the opposite pattern have symptoms at the beginning of spring. Did I read that already?
No.
No, it's just repeating what it.
But how
was in
about
the
when
book.
there's like that freakish day in fall where it's like bright and sunny out, and you're like, "Oh, I feel so good today."
Oh my God,
And
it's
you're
like-
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's the sun."
Yeah,
Little-
it's the sun.
little
It's just
vitamin D
freezing
injection.
outside, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the sunny days are kind of what we live for throughout. Do you ever notice whenever you wake up and it's dark and gray, your entire mood is just bad? You just.
I mean, I wake up at that time every
You wake
single
up.
day of my life.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. I don't know. That's
You live
like,
in a basement.
I do, but we have we have 3 windows, 2 in our bedroom, 1
Look
in the
at
bathroom.
you having 3 windows.
But
Congratulations.
it's those 4-inch thick block
Safety.
windows, so you can't tell if the sun's shining,
Oh,
if
it's
it's
those
raining.
basement window. Yeah,
you
I'm with
can't
you.
tell. So I just wake up like, I hope it's sun shining today.
Yeah.
You know.
But signs and symptoms of SAD may include feeling listless, sad, or down most of the day, nearly every day. Who gets that?
Like that hopeless feeling.
That
Yep,
hopeless
been
feeling,
through
like where
that.
you don't want to do anything. It's not that you're even sad. You're just lazy. And
I
you
get
just don't
the
wanna do
sluggish.
anything.
I get the frustrated feeling because I am unmotivated. So
Yes.
I get mad at myself for not doing the things I want to do or used to do or whatever.
And the research just says sluggish or agitated in the same sentence, and that makes complete sense.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, you can get kind of like mad at yourself, and if you're mad at yourself, you can kind of motivate yourself. But if you're not, you're just like so lazy. And
Yeah.
it's like this. It's another type of compounding effect. But losing interest in activities you once enjoyed, So maybe going to the gym, but you didn't feel like it on Wednesday.
But you still got harassed
I
anyways.
did get harassed on Wednesday.
See, accountability. That's
It
what
is.
we're for.
Well, I had a busy week with lots of stuff going on. I'm going out of town next week for Serve Pro for
Well,
training.
listen, you live close enough to go to the gym, so you better go because I don't live close enough to come on Monday.
When's the last time you went to the gym?
Jesus, I don't know.
Yeah, so don't
No idea.
give me.
I'm telling you to go for me.
No, that's not how it works. You can't.
Hey, don't worry, I'm not busy, Justin.
She don't have nothing to do.
You don't see me winning awards. All right, having low energy and feeling sluggish, having problems sleeping too much. Sleeping is one of those things where it's almost like a drug. The more you do it, the more you need it.
Yeah.
And if you get trapped into that sleeping, taking a nap at 5 o'clock and then not being able to go to sleep at night and then wanting to sleep in the morning and then wanting to take a nap and it gets earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Alyssa.
I don't have time to sleep.
This next one I saw was overeating and craving carbs.
Yeah.
Did everyone else experience that in the winter where you just want to it's like bulk season, you just want to carb up and you don't really know why?
That's why
wish
you
I
got to
had
put
that.
on a little weight so you can hibernate throughout the winter is why.
We
So you can just-
don't need to hibernate.
I just completely lost my appetite. I can't. I'm just not hungry. And when I do eat, I can only eat a little bit at a time because I'm not hungry. So whenever I eat, I have to eat a little bit at a time.
Yeah. Having difficulty concentrating, feeling hopeless, worthless, or guilty. That was an interesting one, I thought, too. Like, what are people walking around feeling guilty about whenever they're in
What?
seasonal depression?
Aren't they feeling guilty?
Probably eating those carbs and
Yeah,
sleeping.
probably, yes.
I mean, the days I actually, part of my learning process through the past year is like giving myself permission to rest because I'm a worker and no one will work harder than me in a room when it comes to doing what I do. And I have to train myself that it's okay to rest because if I tried to take a nap or tried to just lay on the couch, I'd be like, oh, you lazy ass. You
Yes,
can do
isn't that
this,
funny?
this, and this right now. Why are you napping? And I had to train myself that it's okay to rest and give my body what it needs. And fine tuning those thoughts of you have to work yourself to death to be successful. And that's not
No,
true.
that's not true.
I was actually laying in bed one time and I was like, man, I'm so comfortable. And it's like, well, your grandfather's worked in the mine. You wimp. Why are you laying here comfortable? You don't have time to be comfortable. You should be out doing something.
But you can carry guilt for so many things in life, past wrongs, whatever. And when you're depressed, all of that shit
Just
just
floods in.
stirs up. And it's what you start to think about when you're in those the low parts, the rock bottoms.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this and you're like, man, I'm diagnosed bipolar, I'm diagnosed depression, and I feel like this sort of stuff all the time. One thing we read, and you brought it up to me this morning, people with bipolar, this is their higher likely chance of getting seasonal depression. And it intensifies in the wintertime because when you're bipolar and you're up here and you're down there and you're up here and you're down there, and then you have a compounding effect of the seasonal depression plus situational things that happen, life can get really out of whack. So for this time of year is whenever a lot of people do start abusing drugs or they start seeking risk-taking behaviors let's just say unprotected sex and hanging out and doing that sort
Or
of stuff.
withdrawing,
Partying,
doing the
going to bars,
opposite.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
the opposite.
that's just it.
And it affects women more than it does men.
Yeah,
And it typically hits around the ages of 18 to 30.
yeah. And eventually you kind of do. I don't know that necessarily you grow out of it. I think you just grow
I was
more.
gonna say that, too.
Grow more comfortable. You're more aware of it.
I load up on vitamin D. I think last month I bought it and I started eating more vitamin D throughout the entire winter and I'm more aware of it.
Okay.
Because it used to swallow me up and spit me out. I would go through a horrible seasonal depression. I never knew what it was. So I'm more aware of it and I take more self-care than I did before because I didn't know. I was just like, oh, life is just a roller coaster. I should be going like this. Weird. I'm happy in the summer and I feel like shit in the winter.
Yeah, it's like
and
that's just life.
I thought that was just life.
Yeah.
But
Didn't know you can actually do something about it to kind of curb those
correct.
things. The three of us right here too, our birthdays are all in the... Jesse, when's your birthday?
June.
It's in June.
Yeah.
I wonder if it affects people differently because for me, seasonal depression, this time of year, it's whatever. It sucks, but you have Halloween to look forward to, like this weekend, and then in November we each have a birthday, and then you have, which
Thanksgiving.
some people look forward to them, some people don't. I'm indifferent about them, but Thanksgiving's the same week as my birthday usually, and then you
too.
have Christmas to look forward to.
I'm just happy to be alive another year. So. I do look forward to my birthday.
But I think having things to look forward to is important. That's why, accomplishing goals and looking and moving forward to do things. And then New Year's comes, but after New Year's, you don't have anything to look forward to until Memorial Day.
Yeah.
I mean,
think.
Easter, because...
Oh yeah, Easter.
It's not a holiday
April.
anymore.
Easter's not a holiday. What?
No, it's not a
It's not a-
recognized holiday.
No, I didn't get paid for Easter this year.
It is religious.
Interesting.
Oh,
We're gonna-
believe me.
But Christmas isn't religious,
Believe
right?
me.
We're gonna
Yeah.
explore that later. I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that nonsense yet.
I mean-
Well, I've had words with my company about that. Yeah. We got forced to work on Good Friday and Easter, and guess what? Didn't get holiday pay because it's a religiously recognized holiday.
Interesting.
Even though it's the second biggest holiday of the year, next to Christmas. Trust me, I share the frustration. I share it.
I just look forward to that time, like, when I get to see my family.
Yeah.
That's,
Yes, and
Yeah.
I think having things to look forward to is what
Yeah.
the point of what's getting to it. Having things to look forward to can really be a savior in that.
and I just want to take this moment to thank Hanson for constantly planning back to the island in January, because that is the best break for my soul and a refresher. So thank you, Hanson, for that, because it's the best. Going to Jamaica in January, everyone else is cold, and I'm like, bye, I'm going to put my bikini on and go to the beach.
I like to. You said that in January. I like to take my vacations to somewhere warm in February. I like to go like the middle week in February. It happens to be my anniversary too, so that's when we like to go. Which it was complete accident. We got engaged on February 13th, not the 14th, because I didn't want to be one of those people. For the record, but
My grandma
Super.
got married on Valentine's Day.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
But we like to take our vacation that week and just kind of celebrate that, and then when you come back, you only have a week left in February or so, and then March things really start to turn around a little bit.
Around, yeah.
Yeah. But we talked oversleeping, appetite, weight gain, tiredness, low energy, and then spring and summer seasonal affective is exactly the opposite. And when you have trouble sleeping, insomnia, do we have insomnia, or do we just finally have energy to do things? Whenever it comes to springtime, like I'm ready to roll, but poor appetite, weight loss, agitation or anxiety, increased irritability.
That's me every day.
Yeah, right. So you have increased irritability in spring and summer. Listen, you just might just be a jerk. That's all.
Jesse might agree with you when you say that. Shut up.
All right. We're gonna do that. That's the first half. When we get back, we're gonna do some diagnoses and treatment, but we're gonna take a quick break. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Second half. This episode is brought to you by ServPro of Indiana County. It is getting into busted pipe, frozen pipe season, so make sure a couple of things you want to do before wintertime is all your pipes that go outside, turn your water faucets off, take the nozzles off your hoses too, because those will freeze and break. But wintertime, just be a little more cautious. Basements, things like that, make sure you have a little bit of water dripping or some sort of heat source going to those things. I do emergency water and fire cleanup for a living, but it's not like we don't want to have to come to your house. So, but
And if your water meter's in your basement, heat it. Like, have some heat down there by
Have
your
some-
water
yeah.
meter. Please and thank you from your water friend.
yes, Trista works at the municipal authority, so she also deals with this stuff. But we do complete reconstruction, so if anybody needs anything rebuilt or just built, we do that. We provide temporary structures for whenever you do have fires, but we'll hold on to your electronic equipment. We can dry out your documents, fix and restore those. We clean fire, smoke, water, mold, biohazard, vandalism, parties, drug parties, things like that. Yeah, honestly, we do. We clean up like fentanyl parties. Some of the stuff we do, we clean up dead bodies. We actually do our full service.
Well, I hope you don't have to use it for any
shit.
of that.
And
Just
but
maybe a leaky pipe.
That stuff does happen, though. We have
absolutely.
leaky pipes. Leaky pipes was Jesse's nickname in high school. So, anyways.
so proud of himself right now. Just let him have it, Jesse.
Pulled that one right in. Mm-hmm.
Did you hear this one time that he hit a hole in one?
I hit a hole in one a few months ago. I don't think
The
that
putt course.
it was not at putt putt. It was on number 5 at Meadowlanes. It was a brisk day. It was
A brisk day.
It was
in the summer.
It was a brisk day. The wind wasn't even blowing. I might have missed the green and bounced it off the bank, but that's it. A hole in one's a hole in one. Think about that.
Well, that was your nickname.
Yeah, no, your nickname was hole in. Never mind.
All right, let's talk about seasonal depression.
That'll
where were we?
That'll bump the mood up a little bit. All right, so seasonal depression diagnosis. We talked a lot in the first half about like some of the symptoms. In the second half, we want to kind of talk to you about how to curb this, because I have a feeling if you're watching this, then seasonal affective disorders kind of perked your interest, and this might be something you're probably wanting to get to this part. But to help diagnose seasonal affective disorder, you need to go through a thorough evaluation that generally includes a physical exam. So go to your doctor. How often do we tell you this? Go to your doctor.
Every day.
Go to your doctor, get their opinion. Your doctor's not responsible for fixing you. Your doctor is a tool in the belt. Go to them, listen to what he or she has to say, take that information and do with it what you will. Also,
Go to a psychologist or psychiatrist or something.
Yes, for your mental health concerns,
Yes.
your general practitioner is not you wouldn't go to your general health practitioner to do heart surgery on you.
Whenever this was several months ago, but I have this lipoma bump on my leg or whatever. But anyways, I went to the doctor, PCP, and before she did anything, looked at my body, whatever, she had this I don't know, between 8 and 10 question mental health thing. Like she asked me, how often do you feel this way, or how often does this happen? And it was like a whole 30 seconds long, but it's a start for
It's a start, but also too, I don't know that you want to go to someone and have a 30-second conversation with them and have them diagnose you.
No, what I'm saying is at a primary care doctor appointment, they went over my mental health first.
Yes.
And then started going over my physical health. That's what I was trying to say.
You're right. That is a good start. There is also a lab test you can take. For example, your healthcare provider may do blood tests called a complete blood count, or CBC, to test your thyroid to make sure that it's functioning properly. They'll test your liver enzymes. They'll test your vitamin D, vitamin B. Cholesterol, because even high cholesterol can lead to tiredness and exhaustion because the blood's not quite flowing the way it should be.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're not getting that because that blood carries the oxygen. That's what rejuvenates your muscles.
Do you know that's why you yawn, is to get more oxygen into your brain?
What's that?
That's why you yawn.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When you get a little tired, you need a little oxygen.
I gave blood at our blood drive we had, and wow, that wiped me out for a couple days, and I'm still getting my recovery back from workouts.
Yeah.
So apparently my red blood count is my recovery specialist, because it was a struggle bus for at least a good 2 weeks.
Did we did that on a Friday, right? Mm-hmm. And did you work out Saturday then? Saturday morning workout? Mm-hmm. How was that?
It was tough.
Was it really?
I felt winded. I felt like I wasn't getting enough oxygen. It was weird.
Did you eat right after you gave blood?
So girlfriend here has some issues, a little bit of trauma with blood. So the scar on my forehead is from a baseball bat from as a child, getting hit in the head with a baseball bat. So when I see blood,
explains a lot.
My own blood, I get very sick. Yeah. You didn't win an award, but anyways. So giving blood, I had to lay there, and people were around me keeping me chill, and I went to sit up, and she's like, just make sure you're okay. I looked at her, I was like, and I laid back down, and it took me about 3 different tries before
you could actually,
and then I was starving for 2 days. I was starving. Ate a lot of food.
It was a normal weekend for me. I was starving.
You're always hungry.
I am always hungry.
I wish I was always hungry.
Treatment. All right, treatment for seasonal affective disorder may include light therapy, psychotherapy, and medications. If you have bipolar disorder, this is what we talked about. Tell your healthcare provider or mental health professional. This is critical to know when prescribing light therapy or an antidepressant. Both treatments can potentially trigger a manic episode. Manic episodes are awesome, first off.
And Justin doesn't need any more of them.
I finally feel like I can do stuff whenever I'm manic. Manic episodes, you need to...
that's not true. You can do them when you're not manic.
That's also something I've been learning lately too. Yes, I can do stuff when I'm not. But when you're manic, it just feels like you have like this superpower and you just want to do
something. You can just do anything.
Upon reflection, you didn't have a superpower and maybe you were a little bit dumb whenever you... These are things that now that I've been diagnosed bipolar and it's been 2 full years. One, the first year was like I'd learned a lot about myself, but it was mostly just observation. Year 2 was I could reflect on the year before plus all the previous years and kind of build a plan. Now that I'm getting into year 3 of knowing this stuff, now patterns are starting to form.
Were the patterns there, or you just didn't notice and now you're noticing?
Well, no, the patterns were definitely there, but my point is, because I know I'm bipolar, I can look back and see the patterns and see like, you know, I consider this almost like a recovery type time in my life where I can see that stuff, and now I can form a plan whenever these things do come up.
Your manic's like what, 2 or 3 days?
Yeah, it's usually a couple of days.
Mine's like 2 or 3 hours.
Is it
and
really?
Then it gets bad again, and then it's like 5 hours, and then it gets bad again.
Really?
Because mine's one. And I'm just everywhere all day.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about you and I is we share some DNA because we're cousins, but we've had very different lives growing up as far as the tragedies that have happened to us. You know, my parents are still alive, but yours both passed away. You know, in different tragic ways. But you're bipolar 1. I'm bipolar 2, and we have so many similarities too, which is weird. We have a ton of differences, but I think people that have been following along can kind of learn from us just by the things we've been saying and doing. But my manic episodes are a couple of days usually, and I feel like I get so much stuff done. And that you guys used to joke whenever I'd get manic, they're like, give Justin a bunch of things to do. But then I'd be so tired,
write this down.
Afterward. Yeah, write this down. I'd be so tired afterwards. It's like, we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that next time. I feel.
But I feel like too in those episodes, like you get stuff done to a certain degree.
Yes.
You don't complete the task,
No,
which is stuff you're working on with your therapist, like completing the full task and then going into the next one because you get hyper fixated, like I'm going to save the world today. and then it's only like each project a little bit.
Yeah.
So imagine when you fine tune that though.
Yeah, I know. We've been talking about that. Like if you wanted to cut down a tree, you'd take 50 swings at one tree. You wouldn't take 10 swings at 5 trees. You know, and it's like that's what I do as soon as I get into something that's kind of tough or I'm like, all right, let me go fix this and let me go do this and let me go do that, and then at the end of the week I have 5 projects that I'm only 20% through. Whenever I could have one project that I'm completely finished with. Yeah. So enough about me. You guys shut your mouths. Light therapy, also called phototherapy. You can sit a few feet from a special light box so that you're exposed to a bright light within the first hour of waking up each day. I'll take. You can go on Amazon and buy them. Talk to your doctor about it. It's literally just a box with. It's almost like a UV light. It's not cancer causing or anything like that. It just provides a little bit of vitamin D. You can sit it, if you're doing your makeup in the morning.
That's what I was gonna say. At the mirror, something whenever you're getting ready.
Just sit it by your face while you're watching Monday Night Football. I don't know,
checking your email or something on your.
Yeah. But they do actually recommend you do them in the morning. So
why?
Because it says it on this Mayo Clinic's paper. Right
I think like your circadian rhythm, like when you wake up and getting that exposure to light, like boosts
perks you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's light therapy mimics natural outdoor light and appears to cause a change in brain chemicals linked to mood. Light therapy is one of the first lines of treatment for fall onset seasonal depression, and it generally starts working within a few days or few weeks, causing very, very few side effects. Research on light therapy is limited, but it appears to be effective for most people in relieving symptoms. That's one thing to remember is if you do light therapy this morning, it's not at 7 a.m., you're not going to be at 9 o'clock ready to tackle the world. It's something that improves little bit each day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before you purchase Lightbox, talk to your healthcare provider. Psychotherapy, also called talk therapy. Psychotherapy is a very scary word. And it is not scary at all. The word psycho does not mean you're crazy. Psycho just it has to do with your brain, has to do with your mood, has to do with how you think. Psycho just got a bad name because of that Norman Bates movie.
Well, it starts everything else out. Psychologist, psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously said different, but
It's also known as cognitive behavioral therapy, but it can teach you healthy ways to cope with seasonal disorder, especially with reducing avoidant behavior and scheduling meaningful activities. So Jesse, you said that earlier, surrounding yourself with good people, that is avoidance behavior, is avoiding the bad people.
Yeah, it's always good to practice. It's like I said before about the contagiousness. With everybody I work with, there's a few that are Debbie Downers about working every day, and it's like you get sucked into that. And I hate trying to do something whenever you're just constantly feel like you're being dragged down. It's one thing I've learned to focus on who I, talk to and just befriend at work, because there's a few people that just, they get out of control, and it's like, I don't know. I can't work like that. I don't like to.
No, work relationships are tough too, because once you get in them, there you kind of get pigeonholed into. You spend 8-10 hours a day with these people, and if you're going to sit and spend 8-10 hours with a Debbie Downer, what's that going to do to you?
And every day too, 7 days a week makes it real tough.
Yeah.
Not having a reprieve.
What do you do? What's your shift right now?
2 to 10 p.m.
So you do get some sunlight then during the day.
Somewhat, yeah.
Depends on when he wakes up.
We live in the basement as well.
That's tough. Yeah, living in I know that in the wintertime, like right now we're in the bedroom in the basement of this place. I know I have football on here. There's days I'll watch it for like 6 hours and then walk up and see the sun at like 4, and I'm like, holy, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, it's another weird thing too, like working inside all day, and you get busy early on. So, you don't wind up eating or something until 6:30 or so, and then go outside. And as soon as you open the door, you realize, like, the sun's not in the sky anymore. Mm-hmm. It's like, wow. What it's really, in the summertime, you go out till 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it's still bright out. But now it's like you go outside 6:30, 7 o'clock. It's like dusk out.
Yeah, and I feel like in the summer, you go out, you work all day, and then 8, 9 o'clock at night, by 10 or 11 o'clock, you're ready to go to sleep because you actually worked all day.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, you just lay around.
Unless you do work 3 to 11 or 2 to 10 or 11 to 11.
Those sorts of shifts, I feel bad for people that have to work those, but again, you got to do what's best for yourself financially too.
Yeah.
Okay, so learn healthy ways to cope. Identify and change negative thoughts and behaviors that may be making you feel worse. Trista, what do you think?
I mean, that's all about mindset.
Yeah.
I'm all about creating a healthy mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we can't control the situations, but we can control how we respond to them.
Yeah, and if you identify and change negative thoughts and behaviors, that can go back to what Jesse and I were just talking about, the negative thoughts of the people that surround you, too.
At work, we have, on every unit, we have a timeout room.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So,
Wish I had a timeout room. That sounds awesome.
So if where the kids are just sitting there watching TV, playing games or whatever, and somebody gets mad or something happens, he's like, I need to go to timeout, and they'll just get up and go to timeout, and you could act a complete fool in there. You can do whatever you want, say whatever you want. I mean, you can't smash your head against the wall or whatever.
Is it padded?
The floors are, yeah. But we've restrained a lot of kids
notes.
in those rooms. But the point is, as soon as like something hits you or triggers you or somebody makes you mad, you can directly go right in there and scream if you want. I mean, that might also trigger somebody else. But the whole point is, like, they can get up and go to timeout, or we can say, get up, let's go. We're going to go talk. So it works either way.
Do you feel like that? Do you like that room? Do you feel like that works for your kids? Like, whenever do they go in there and scream and get out some of their frustrations? Yeah,
absolutely. But a lot of times, like, so if they go on their own, they have 10 minutes.
Okay.
And for every minute they go over, they lose points, and that's a whole big next thing. But if we take them in there, it could be however long we want.
Are employees allowed to go in there and scream?
I mean, I don't see why not. I'm sure people have, but it works. It depends on who the kid is talking to. It depends on who the staff is that is trying to de-escalate or talk them down.
Okay.
Because sometimes staff will just continue to escalate them, and it'll get worse and worse, and then we'll have to restrain the kid at some point because he
Okay.
gets escalated. But
Well, let's talk about the next two. You're going to skip them.
Yes,
I'm
no, I'm definitely not going to.
Learn how to manage stress.
Yes, psychotherapy will also teach you how to learn how to manage stress. And then guess what, Trista?
Tell me, I'm ready for this
Have
one.
we ever talked about this? Build healthy relationships or healthy behaviors such as increasing physical activity and improving your sleep patterns. Does that ever come up?
yeah,
I think that's something that gets glossed over sometimes. We focus so much on the mental health side of this. We like our name is gym therapy because the benefits of going to the gym and the chemicals they can help produce in your brain and the healthy, like your gym is a community based gym, so you're around good people. We just talked about that. You're around good people, you're starting to build patterns, you're starting to see people and live with in the same time as people that are successful. Like that's a lot of the people that go to your gym, and that is very, very contagious. But increasing physical activity can do so much for seasonal depression. It's light therapy is the first in line. I think physical activity and sleep, and your diet are probably the three things that stop seasonal depression.
And the diet, I can't stress enough how important it is to have like fresh fruits and vegetables. Even if they're not fresh, you have to buy frozen or canned. Even if you can't afford fresh food, like eat food with micronutrients in it. If you're eating processed stuff all the time, you're not really getting any of those nutrients, and that affects you. It affects your mood. And being in a community like the gym that we have, or pickleball, or whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
people are more likely to like peer pressure you into brunch or going and trying a Spartan race or something than they are getting you to go out and drink at the bars.
Yes.
They are going to promote you to do healthy things when you're in people that are in alignment with your goals.
Yeah. And I feel like some people are like, I know that, but I don't want to feel better.
I mean, and that's a real thing.
That's
and there
valid,
are people
yeah.
that want to, they enjoy like that party lifestyle their entire lives, and that's just what they do. And some people grow from that and some people don't, and that's okay. It's whatever your story is.
Yeah.
But if you struggle with mental health issues, I think you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice of what serves you and what's in alignment with a better, healthier life for yourself, or what's going to keep you kind of stuck in that same rut where you feel like you're living in Groundhog's Day. And that feeling, when you feel like you're living the same day every day, sucks.
Yes.
yeah, it does.
Very much so.
It's monotonous and frustrating.
Yes. All right, so let's move on. Medications. Medications also help with seasonal affective. Some people benefit from antidepressant treatment, especially if the symptoms are severe. An extended release version of an antidepressant, Wellbutrin or Aplenzin, may help prevent depressive episodes. So again, we're not doctors. I'm reading this from the Mayo Clinic's website. Your healthcare provider may recommend starting treatment with an antidepressant before your symptoms typically begin each year. I think that's important too. Like we know this time of year's coming up, so
Kind of prepare ourselves.
Kind of prepare
Yeah.
ourselves for it. We actually we open our curtains a lot more in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And one thing we started doing last year, which we're going to do this year too, is plants. We're going to bring more plants into the house so you can kind of replicate that green
My house
feeling
is
about.
full of plants. I'm a plant
Are they
freak.
real?
Yeah. All of them.
You don't murder them? You don't murder your plants?
What?
Why would I murder my plants?
Not like purposely, but like
No,
they don't die.
I have a plant that Riley and Tyler got
We've
me when
met.
Leroy died, and it is as tall as I am.
Is it really?
Yes,
Oh,
it
wow.
sits on the floor, and it is like probably this much shorter than me, and it's amazing. I sent her a picture the one day. I was like, I still have this.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
get one.
Yeah.
We don't have any plants.
In Google, if you're not very
They
good
don't
at
have
taking
any
care
light,
of plants,
Cactus.
yeah, Google cactus, aloe, things like that. That you don't have to have a green thumb to.
Yeah, constant attention.
Correct.
Yeah, there's a lot of ferns, or I forget what the type of flower or plant it is, but it's not the cactus, but it's made of the same green, like not spiny part of the cactus.
Oh, really?
It's like they've got, I don't know, there's little, I forget what they're called, but they're about that big. My mom had a bunch of those kinds of plants throughout the house that are very easy to, water once every week and a half or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
so you can kind of forget about them.
We have them like
Yeah.
hanging above our bed. We have like hanging pots.
Oh.
Aren't you afraid of spiders?
Cactuses, and I mean, I probably eat them in my sleep anyways. I don't know. They have them there. We have a couple in the bedroom, a bonsai tree, and when I
Ooh, a bonsai tree.
they're the best decorations too because they
Yeah.
look good, and you don't have like I hate things everywhere,
Yeah.
knickknacks. So
Yeah.
I switched to plants, and I like it.
Yeah.
Makes my house feel homey.
All right, so self-care is the next one. Make sure your environment is sunny and brighter. We just talked about that. Wow, look at that. Open blinds, trim tree branches that block sunlight, and or add skylights to your home. I don't
Yeah,
know
we'll just cut around the
just cut
roof
around-
now. No problem. That's reasonable. Totally reasonable.
especially in the wintertime.
Affordable.
Yes,
Completely
yes, right.
affordable.
Sit closer to bright windows while at your home or in the office. But I tell you guys this every single week. Get outside, take a long walk, eat lunch at a nearby park, simply sit on a bench, soak up the sun. You're not cold, you're just unprepared. Remember that for the wintertime. You're not cold, you're just unprepared. If you're not ready to go outside, put on a hat, get a scarf, buy a vest. I don't know what to tell you, but
Not
get
this year,
outside.
sir. I got
Snowsuit
nice
and
warm
just go.
gloves.
Did you
I'm
get nice
ready.
warm gloves?
I needed them for that triathlon.
Good.
Oh,
A
yeah.
couple weekends ago. It was freezing.
Good for you. Even on cold or cloudy days, it's important to go outside. Go walk your dog. If you don't have a dog, find a dog. Go adopt a dog.
Find someone
Walk
to
Just
it.
carry a
Yeah.
leash and
Just
look
carry-
like you're...
Walk yourself. Walk your husband. I don't know.
Just go outside.
Yes. But again, we're gonna talk about it. Exercise regular.
What's that? One more time?
Exercise regularly.
So like a couple times a week?
So I would
Couple times a
suggest a
week?
minimum of 2, but possibly 3. See,
How about you let the fitness professional tell you about 3 times a week is what you
I
should.
mean, if you want to listen to her instead of me.
Oh my God, you too.
Yeah.
I will say it also depends on what your occupation is, because you know if you sit in an office chair all day long, 8 hours a day, that yeah, definitely 3 times, if not more. But if you have a very active lifestyle at work where you literally don't sit down throughout those 8 hours, you know, you'd be surprised at how much you actually move around. Like I speak for myself, being in maintenance. The building that I'm responsible for probably takes up about 4 city blocks. You know, that's not with the brewery side, and I can't tell you how many times a day I'm from one side to another, to another, to another. It's, yeah, because I know I used to smoke. I've been 4 weeks off of
4
smoking.
weeks not
Yeah.
smoking. Yeah,
Yes.
that's big. That's
Yeah.
huge. That's awesome.
Vaping
And
though.
They,
Oh, horse shit. You're vaping?
yeah, a little bit, but like I said, whenever we leave the maintenance shop to go to a call, and then we're at one end of the building, we got to run back. You know, I used to run back and forth, and I would get about halfway there and I'd be out of breath. Now I can run from one side of the building all the way to the other, get the shit I need, run all the way back, and not even be winded when I get back. So I don't care. Vape, no vape, smoke, no smoke. I know from the point I was at to the point I'm at now, 4 weeks later, I'm a hell of a lot better.
feel a lot better.
A hell of
Good.
a lot better.
Well, I think it's important if you do have an active job, something like you do. Trista, you can attest to this. Intense exercise in short periods does a lot for you too.
Sure, and definitely strength training. I mean,
Yeah.
as we get older, our bones get brittle, we lose mobility, all of that stuff. So you definitely want to keep doing strength training for your joints, tendons, muscles, all of
Okay.
that. And doing like what you're talking about is like low intensity, right? You're walking, you're doing that all the day, all the time. You want to still get your heart rate up, even if it's 20 minutes a day. Go for a run, something like that, to get the heart rate up.
Yeah.
That's good.
Something cardiovascular strength.
Correct.
Yeah. But Jesse, for someone that does a lot of movement throughout the day, this is important. Normalize sleep patterns. You do have to rest whenever you need you need rest.
absolutely.
And don't feel
Yeah.
guilty if you're resting appropriately either.
Yeah, it's like one thing I do. Like people,
We
you
love
know,
to sleep.
We do, but I don't go to sleep until 2, 3 in the morning. Like when you put that into the time frame of when you get off work, you know, normal people get off at 5. Nobody goes to bed at 6 p.m. when you get off of work
would.
at 5.
I would
If I
too.
go-
Oh, heck yeah. Whenever I used to live here and I would come home from work, I'd talk to you on the phone for 10 minutes, take a shower, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. Good night, bye.
Yeah.
I get done at work at 7:15 at night. I start my day at 4 in the morning, get off at 7:15 at night, and I am in bed by 8:30. Like in bed and ready, like watching TV, winding down, and I am asleep by 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Do you think you'd be able to live that lifestyle if you weren't doing something you loved for?
No.
Yeah.
It's because I'm passionate about what I do and I love it.
Really passionate about the municipal authority system, huh?
That part is not so much, but it's I don't hate it. I made good relationships with a lot of customers.
Wasn't that your first job though? Did you say, like working there, not like in the position you're at, but like, did I just remember that wrong?
Yeah, so I have my water operator's license too.
Right, but what I'm saying is like whenever you started to into the workforce, that was your first job that you ever had.
Oh, there no.
No, okay.
No.
That's what I thought. Okay, never mind.
No, I had a job when I was 15 at Sandy's convenience store. So the very first job was doing TNS inner search, making the phone calls.
Oh, that was the worst. Everybody
worst job
said that.
ever.
Everybody, Reese Brothers, yeah,
Oh, I
everybody
hated
was
that.
a telemarketer for a minute.
Terrible.
My grandma's like, you can't do that for 2 weeks. So I did it for 2 weeks and one day, and I quit.
Yeah, I
Yes,
did
I
mine.
did.
I tried it twice. Each one was for a week. I went through the training, and then the second week I was like, nope. As soon as you got on the floor, I was like, nope.
I had
nope,
to
nope,
sell
nope.
postage meters to small businesses.
I had to call people in Philadelphia and ask them how they like the public transit system. But, so I can tell you, exactly how that went. It wasn't great.
Oh my god.
All right, listen, certain herbal remedies also help with this. Supplements or mind-body techniques. Now, remember, you understand the risks as well as the possible benefits whenever you're looking for herbal remedies because they are not monitored by the FDA.
FDA.
So that's something to be careful of. But coping and support, stick to your treatment plan. Follow the treatment plan that your doctor puts out for you. Take care of yourself. Practice stress management. Make sure you socialize. You have to get out amongst people. If you come to the Trista's gym, you will definitely be forced to socialize because everybody will talk to you, whether you want them to or
And
not.
if you're afraid to go, just call somebody and they'll go out and meet you.
Yeah,
That's
if you are, like when we have classes, if you're afraid, just text us whatever out. We will come out to the parking lot and meet you. But you want to practice stress management, learn techniques to manage your stress better. For example, relaxation techniques like yoga, tai chi, and meditation. Unmanaged stress can lead to depression, overeating, and other healthy thoughts, behaviors, which that's exactly what seasonal depression is. So you don't want those things compounding either. What can you do to prepare for your appointment for your doctor? Before your appointment, make a list of your symptoms, your depression patterns, and any other mental or physical health problems you may have. Any major stressors you have in life, make a list of all your medications, vitamin, herbs, or supplements, and make a list of all the questions you do have for your doctor as well. And some basic questions might be, are my symptoms likely caused by this, or are they due to something else? And what else could be causing my problems? I don't know. That's basically what we have for seasonal depression now.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about Matthew Perry dying?
Oh man, I'm so bummed.
No, I don't really
That's
want
sad.
to. It's sad.
It is sad. His book just came out too, and not
What's it
long
called?
ago. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's a memoir. It came out a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a guy that struggled with somebody on screen that looked to be such a happy, funny person, but he struggled with depression, anxiety, these sorts of things, and
Being able to put on two different faces, different lives.
It was well known that he was an addict.
I was going to say he struggled with addiction too, I believe. Yeah.
A lot.
And his very last social media post had something about the water being warm, and was a picture of an infinity pool, and he signed it Batman for some reason. It was like didn't quite make sense, and then he was found this
What's
weekend.
an infinity pool?
Just what pool that water runs in a circle, basically, or a figure eight, whatever. And then he was found this week, slumped over in his hot tub. So I don't know that. I think those things are related. I don't know that, but I think these things are related.
Well, it was initially a cardiac arrest call to his house.
Was it?
Yeah, and his official, way of dying, they believe, is drowning. And that makes sense because you can have a heart attack, go unconscious while you're in a jacuzzi, especially somebody that's struggled with addiction. Heart attacks are definitely highly more highly likely in a hot tub jacuzzi. You know, that's why they say people with heart conditions should not get into a hot tub.
Who called? Who called 911? Like,
I don't know, but I do know like that makes perfect sense. You have a hot tub or you have a heart attack while you're in a hot tub. You go underwater. You're not necessarily dead yet. Your body can still breathe.
May have drowned.
Yeah.
Asphyxiate on the water.
Yeah, I just think a lifetime of abuse on your body. That's
You're gonna die younger than normal.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. Let's end on that note.
Yeah. Way to take it down, but we're feeling pretty good at the end of that.
Yeah.
That is very sad.
Yes,
It is.
It is that. But reach out to us if you guys have any questions, thoughts, concerns. We got some stuff coming up. October, we kind of we took a lot of October off. Trista was too busy winning awards. Didn't you guys?
We're doing a triathlon.
Maybe a triathlon. I mean, I did to go on vacation. You guys were busy too, so
Just working.
yeah, wintertime's coming up. We'll start to try to get you guys more content and more things to look at on the internet. So
I love the winter time personally.
but you're like a snowboarder.
Yeah.
Snowboard. I love the holidays. Like it's the best time of the year. Like summer's cool, but it's I work 7 days a week during the summer, so it ain't that cool. You know, it's a lot of money, but like I said, there's no better time than family time and the holidays. And like I said, get a hobby. There's plenty of them outdoors.
Yeah.
You know? And like I said, snowboarding, enjoying the view, all that. It's I don't think there's much better than that.
All right, guys. That's it. Love you guys. Go outside.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.